That is awesome. I just told Chris I laughed at his line. Skewed. Isn't that part of the definition of a parent? Skewed? And really, it made me think. If you go to positivecoach.org, just take 10 minutes someday when you're surfing randomly. Just go to positivecoach.org, and at the bottom of the website, click on the online courses tab, and you'll see what the double goal coaches have done. And I tell you, it's an amazing amount of work that Tina and Courtney Pollock, who I first worked with on it, have done over years to put these courses together online. And the best part is it's not just for coaches. There's a section for athletes, a section for parents, and a section for officials. And it's absolutely terrific. And it helps explain how these coaches, all of whom we introduced here tonight, have been honored for what they've done. So PCA's goal and why we're all here tonight, to honor these coaches and to help PCA keep developing coaches like these great models we've seen tonight. And with more on that now, please welcome the Chief Revenue Officer for PCA, David Shapiro.
What an incredible group of coaches. I have 2 young kids, and they're not close to playing sports yet. But my wife might not like this, but when they get high school age, I think we're going to move to Menlo Park for a year to play for Bob. Then we're going to go to San Anselmo to play for Renee. Then we'll go to Texas. And then we'll head out to Boston to play for Chris. If we could just replicate these coaches that were on stage, PCA's mission would be complete. And the good news is there's a lot of coaches out there that coach with the exact same mentality that these 4 coach with. However, the bad news is there's also a lot of negative coaches that are scaring kids out of youth sports and forcing them to quit. There's 2 telling trends that are going on right now in our country that PCA is working to reverse. The first is 70% of kids stop playing sports by the age of 13. And the second, which is tied to the first, is that over the last 4 decades, there's been a 32% decrease in physical activity levels for 6 to 18-year-old kids. Now, when kids aren't active, what happens? Higher obesity, lower test scores, higher dropout rates, higher health care costs, and much more. With PCA, as we continue our momentum, we will reverse these trends over time. I've been working at Positive Coaching Alliance for just over 11 years now. I came to the organization because I felt so strongly about our mission to develop better athletes and, more importantly, better people. Sports had an incredible impact on my life growing up, and I wanted the opportunity to pay it forward and help kids have similar experiences to develop through sports, just as I did. It's been a very exciting ride over the last 11 years. In Good to Great, a book written by Jim Collins, which I imagine many of you have read, he uses the metaphor of the flywheel. Flywheel is a big, heavy metal wheel, takes a ton of inertia to get it turning. And the first turn's very, very hard. You push and push and push, and you barely get it to turn. But then as you get more momentum, it gets easier. And once the wheel gets going, it goes at a very fast speed. So 2 turns, 4 turns, 8 turns, etc. PCA is at the point right now that the flywheel is moving. And the big reason for that is all the supporters we have across the country. We have over 300 board members across the United States, over 50 full-time staff members, 120 trainers across the country delivering our message, and all of the donors that support us. We have over 1,500 donors. A lot of you are here tonight to support PCA. Over the past 14 months, we've really seen the flywheel get going. We opened 4 new chapters, 1 in Phoenix, 1 in Cleveland, 1 in Minnesota, and then most recently in Tampa. We also impacted over 2.5 million athletes in 2013. As Jim mentioned earlier, we just completed our strategic plan for the next 5 years, and in 2019, we will impact over 17 million kids and have 26 chapters across the United States. That would be 40% of the youth sports population. So through the coaches that you saw on the stage tonight, you've seen the impact that a double goal coach can have. And I hope that you'll be able to support us tonight as we get going in the auction to help us develop more double goal coaches across the country and help us reverse those 2 trends kids dropping out of sports and inactivity levels. Help us reverse this. We really need your support. So with that, I want to turn your attention to the auction. If you can pull out the auction brochure, which should be at your table setting. And before we jump into the auction, there's a few people that I want to appreciate. I want to appreciate Dusty Baker, who's here tonight and contributed towards the auction. Blair LaCourte, who donated his incredible home in Lake Tahoe for this auction. Thank you, Blair. Jason and Robin Wheeler, who contributed our package of the San Francisco 49ers season tickets. Thank you, Jason and Robin. Karen Francis, thank you for donating our wine event for tonight. And then Scott Osler also for contributing to the auction. I now want to introduce Kevin O'Callahan, who's going to lead us in our auction. Kevin, where are you at? All right. So Kevin, take it away.